Hi everybody, it's Lori Wetzel here with the next installment of Tech Tip Tuesdays. And this tech tip is going to focus on SkyDrive and providing yourself with kind of a SkyDrive tune-up. If you've had any problems with it syncing and are looking for some tips and tricks to get it working exactly the way it should be working, I'm going to go through a bunch of steps that you can use to double check that you have everything the way it should be. It's going to be a little unique for me to show you this process because SkyDrive is currently working on my computer just fine. I don't necessarily have a computer from scratch that the way it was passed out to you. So I'm going to explain it as best I can, and please feel free to go to your media tech or your tech people in your building if you're confused about anything or have any questions. Put something in the portal. So the very first thing you want to watch for is, do you have a SkyDrive app in your dock? My dock obviously looks pretty different than yours at this point. But if you have a SkyDrive app in your dock and it's light blue, that means it's the one that was originally installed by Kelly McCarty when the computers were first issued to you. That is no longer the current version of the SkyDrive. So in order to nip this in the bud, we're going to go to the Finder. And if you do this and a Finder window doesn't open, you can always go to File, New Finder Window. And if you've got that light blue SkyDrive application, go to your Applications folder and look for SkyDrive. You'll notice mine is this darker blue color. If you've got the light blue one, take it and drag it into the trash. This is not the version of SkyDrive you want running on your computer. Once you've dragged it to the trash, you can quit out of your Finder and then take your SkyDrive app from your dock. I'm going to pretend this was it, and poof it off of your dock. So that is step one, to get rid of the old SkyDrive that was originally installed on your computer and is no longer the most current version. Step two, we've gotten rid of the old version. Now we're ready to check and see what's going on, assuming you have tried to install the new version. If you haven't even tried to install the new version, I'm going to point you to a completely different tech tip. If you have, though, and things, you know it's on the computer and it just doesn't seem to be working correctly, here's some things to check. First of all, I'm going to go to my Finder window, and I'm going to go to my Downloads folder. When you download the SkyDrive, it naturally goes into this Downloads folder first. And what you want to look for is, do you have anything that says SkyDrive with that dark blue cloud? Some of you may see SkyDrive and SkyDrive-1 and SkyDrive-2, which means you have multiple downloads. What you want to do is trash any of the additional copies that you have. So if this, for instance, was my SkyDrive-1 or SkyDrive-2, I'm going to take it and drag it into the trash. You don't want those in your downloads folder. The one version you do want in here, the dark blue cloud that says SkyDrive, you are going to take it and drag it into your Applications folder. Now obviously this looks different for me because I don't have the actual icon, but for instance, I'm going to take this file and all I have to do is drag it right into the Applications folder. So now your dark blue SkyDrive app should appear in your Applications folder, and we're ready to get started on step 3. Moving on to the next step. You will notice that I have this nice little shortcut to SkyDrive within my favorites in my Finder. If you don't have that, you probably do want that. Here's how I got it. When you installed SkyDrive, it asked you where you wanted to put it, and it naturally went into your home directory. So if you click on your home directory with your name, you should see a SkyDrive folder in it. All I did to get this SkyDrive shortcut was drag this into my favorites area. I'm not going to let go because I don't want to, but I would suggest that as your next step. Include the favorites right within your Finder so that you have an easy way to access your SkyDrive directly from your Finder. I believe we're on step 4 now. So step 4 is to actually launch SkyDrive. I'm going to go to my applications folder and I am going to double click on my SkyDrive icon. Now that I have launched SkyDrive, you should see an icon down here in your dock, and if you don't, we can fix that if you want to see it. And you should see this icon up here in your top menu bar. Next step, step 5, is to take a look at the preferences that you have set for your SkyDrive. I am going to right click on my SkyDrive icon in my top menu bar and I'm going to go to Preferences. You decide what is going to work best for you. I do have this box checked because if I do experience a problem, it's going to automatically send that file to SkyDrive and just keep them in the loop as to what kinds of issues users are having. You're not going to see it. It's going to be pretty much invisible to you. You can choose to click it or not. I have also chosen to have Open at Login selected so that if I restart my computer, SkyDrive should automatically start up. This dock icon is completely a matter of preference. If you want the SkyDrive icon in your dock, have it unchecked. If you don't want it in your dock, you're fine with accessing it from your top menu bar, then go ahead and check it off. Completely up to you. Last but not least, I think we're step 6 here. I'm going to quit out of my preferences. Down here on SkyDrive, if I do want to keep this in my dock, I have had issues with it disappearing from time to time, so just double check. I'm right clicking by clicking with 2 fingers on my mouse pad, and if I go to Options, have Keep in Dock selected. So if you feel like SkyDrive isn't syncing for some reason, you just kind of want to wake it up, I'm going to close this window. Right now SkyDrive is open and I'm going to quit SkyDrive. Notice my icon in the top menu bar has disappeared, but my icon is still in my dock. I just opened it up again, kind of woke it up, and you'll notice that it is trying to sync. I have nothing to sync at the moment, so it was pretty quick. Now that you don't have multiple copies of the SkyDrive app in your downloads folder, you don't have it trying to communicate with an old version that isn't working, you don't have icons on your dock that aren't functional, and you have your preferences set the way they need to be set, you should see that the SkyDrive is syncing pretty quickly and working really well. One word of warning, keep your file names simple within SkyDrive. Stick to alphanumeric. Don't put any weird characters. It does tend to interfere with the syncing process. And if there are any files that SkyDrive has an issue with, you want to keep your eye up here on this top menu bar, and you might see a little red X with a circle around it. And if you click on that, it's going to tell you which files it's having issues with, and the issues are probably going to relate to the way the files are named. And if that is the case, you can click right on it. It'll take you right to where it's located. You can change the name, and I think you'll find that things will be syncing up just great. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the portal, and your media tech or your building technician will get with you as quickly as they can. Have a great day.